Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and we're going to take a little flight over to a field over nearby where they just started turning it from a field of of hay to a construction site. So we'll head on over there, and while we're doing that, I'll let you watch this. This is from less than a year ago. And I'll put a link to it. It's a clip called Stopping to Smell the Roses, because my little grandson and I, this is how we would go to the park. And so on that particular day, he wanted to stop and get water and stop and talk about things, and it was kind of an interesting ride.
There goes Tom.
So here we are turning on this road that goes across the field, and it's was the way we made that trip. I don't know how many times going across the field in order to get over to the housing project where his favorite park is. And so on this particular day, he had already stopped and looked at some dead cats. And he'd already stopped and wanted to get a drink of water out of the back of my bike. And so we're going along here, and he's going to pull over, and so then I'll let you listen to the conversation.
More water.
You want more water?
Probably dehydrated.
Okay.
I haven't had anything to drink today besides the water that I brought.
All right.
I only got a little bit of water. I feel like we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, well, kind of like that.
And so that was just a little part of the ride. Like I said, I'll put a link to it so you can watch the video if you're interested. But here we are coming from where I live over to this field where they just started turning it into a construction site. And as we come along here, that road that goes crossways across in front of us there, that's the road we were on. That's the road where we stopped, and he talked about a lot of things. I didn't put them all in the video, but it was an interesting ride, and I enjoyed it. But we won't be making that ride anymore because we can't get through there because of the construction. And he's a year older now and doesn't really have such a strong desire to go play on the swings and slides at the park. So here's where they're actually they're leveling it out so they can start building houses on it. And while we're watching that, I'll tell you another one of my stories. In my last video, I talked about how I got a job at a computer school, and that's where I acquired the name Mr. Kent. So how did that happen? Well, after I just got started teaching, there was this lady that was teaching, and by the way, many other students in that school were single moms, and they were trying to learn about computers so they could get a job somewhere in an office. And for some reason, they got at odds with their teacher in this one classroom, and so then they said they all threatened to quit school unless the administrator did something about it. So he let her go, and he asked me if I could take over the class, and I said, sure, I'd be glad to do that. So teaching 2 classes is just about twice as hard as teaching 1. No big deal. Anyway, and so the difference between how I taught and whatever that lady had done to make all of her students mad was great enough that when I took over, then, oh, by the way, right down at the bottom of the screen, that's the road we were on. And they've removed all the irrigation pipes along the side now. Anyway, so they really appreciated me compared to who they had. And so and it was all on a first name basis, all the teachers, Dave and all the guys and the ladies. Anyway, so my name is Kent, and so they decided that they were going to call me Mr. Kent. and that's where I got the name Mr. Kent. Well, then, how did I get MrKent.com? Well, and by the way, they're scraping here. They're going to scrape the dirt off at this area and then dump it over there where you'll see them dumping. Anyway, so how did I get MrKent.com out of all this? Well, they had to learn how to type at a rapid speed in order to graduate. And in order to get practiced up, they either had to come into the lab and hire a babysitter for their children, and you can see there he's scraping up the dirt. They had to hire a babysitter for their children while they came into the lab, or they could pay about $30 or $40 for some software to put on their computer that would teach them how to type and give them a test and so forth. So they came up to me, and they knew I liked the program, and I didn't have a website at that time, and they knew I liked the program, and they said, can you put something on the internet so we can practice our typing and get good at it without having to buy the software or pay for a babysitter? And I said, okay, I can do that. Well, because of the time we were living in, it was real easy to get a website with your own name on it. And so since they called me Mr. Kent, I started MrKent.com. And I put up a typing tutor and a typing test, couple kinds of typing tests, and I started getting a whole bunch of hits on it. In fact, it was a very popular site for a while, and for several years, as a matter of fact. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. And it caused the gimbal to point straight down. Anyway, so I had MrKent.com, and that way they could all find it real easily. And so that turned out to be a good thing, because I made quite a bit of money off of that website while typing, with the ads and so forth. While typing was important. But as time went by, fewer and fewer people are typing or needing to type. They still use it, but everybody's texting now. So anyway, that's how I got MrKent.com, was teaching at the computer school. And I taught there for 5 years, and it was a good experience, although I did have some trials that I had to deal with. And there's our favorite old road again. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.